everyone, my name is Madison McGarrahan, and today we're going to be talking about why am I singing this song. Have you ever caught yourself walking around with your friends through a grocery store on a hike and you're involuntarily singing a song that you haven't thought about in years or haven't heard for a really long time? Well, this is called what is often called an involuntary musical imagery or an earworm. Now, we don't have an exact definition of why this happens, even though it is extremely common and we all experience it. There's relatively no agreement on what causes this. However, we can look at some related concepts and some studies that help begin to give us an idea of what might be causing these earworms. So Beeman suggested that earworms are really similar to post-traumatic stress disorder in the way that there's this idea or thought that's in this playback loop that we don't have control over, and it can be really frustrating. Obviously much less severe, but it does have similarities. Same thing goes for obsessive compulsive disorder. There are a lot of similar, really obtrusive thoughts that come into your brain that won't leave, kind of similar to what we see in OCD. And there's no real way to control these thoughts or get rid of them. Snyder suggested that due to the repetition of a song over and over in our heads, it causes chunking, which then causes it to stay in our short-term memory more easily because it's been broken down to this small segment, and that repetition helps it to move to our long-term memory. Florido and al. Did a study where they had their participants name a tune. They had 30 seconds to name it, and then they did a 5-minute puzzle, and they had to report if they had been having any earworms or any songs stuck in their head while they did the puzzle. They then had them do the same thing where they simply filled in the lyrics of a song without hearing it. They just had to do their best to fill it in. They did the same 5-minute puzzle, and they had to again report if they were having any earworms or any songs stuck in their head during that time. And the results of this study showed that there were actually more earworms for the lyric setting than there were for the name that tune where they listened to it, even though it was pretty similar. But this shows that earworms are actually even more memory than they are melody based, and just hearing the lyrics can get a song stuck in your head. It doesn't have to be the melody. So in conclusion, we don't have all the answers, but we do know that we can learn something about earworms through PTSD and OCD, and we can also learn about the different memory systems that are related to having a song stuck in your head. Thank you so much for listening today.